Hi everyone, this is Nikki Yu, also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching the Awesome10X Global Market Update. It's May 2021, so it's already the fifth month of the year. Let's begin. So this week, we're going to still have a lot of earnings palooza. First thing to go in case that you're wondering what are the upcoming earnings, you just go straight to Earnings Whispers, where they neatly share the most important visuals for the week. So for May 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is what's coming. So tonight you'll get, perhaps for the people who are wondering, I think the most important ones are Estee Lauder, Berkshire Hathaway, Ceragon, Chegg. Uh, those are the companies that I'll take a look at, Solar Edge and XPO Logistics perhaps. So among these companies for the Monday, what do I mean with most important? Doesn't mean that I am long these names. I think that it's important for me to hear definitely what Ceragon Networks has to say when it comes to 5G foray. CRNT is a company that I believe is an important Israeli company and small, but they are working on a lot of wireless solutions. Solar Edge as well. I want to understand whether this company is doing well since Enphase didn't do well. So I want to understand whether the competition of Enphase, which is Solar Edge, is doing well amidst the chip shortage. Now, on Tuesday, I want to understand how Skills, Activision Blizzard are going to do. I want to understand whether Upwork and Zillow will actually exceed profits. I want to also see Ballard. There's also people, so it's really more in the gaming. I'm interested on Activision Blizzard, Corsair, and Skills. I'm not too sure about companies like Alteryx, so it's not gonna. I know that data analytics is a huge market, but I think Alteryx could be losing this war against other bigger companies, say Palantir, even if it's not the same, and some company like MongoDB. We'll see. As for companies like healthcare, CVS Health and Pfizer should be okay, but I don't really know what's gonna happen this for those two companies. For May 3, this is what I'm interested in. I want to hear what General Motors has to say about their electric efforts. Of course, they already discussed about it. I just want to hear more of it. SunPower too. I want to hear what SunPower has to say, given First Solar had a bad number. Of course, these are really an interesting set of numbers. Sunrun, PayPal, RKT, Etsy. For Uber and Lyft, I'm not quite interested, but I know that they'll discuss a lot of reopening tactics. So yon. Fastly is something that I'll be interested to hear about, especially Mercado Libre and Scott Miracle Grow. InMode should be doing well. That said, I think I'll be more interested listening to the solar power companies this week. I'd like to hear what Solar Edge, Sunrun, and SunPower has to say. For vaccine-related news, I will hear about Pfizer and Moderna talk about their stuff. I want to hear these things too. Fastly and Cloudflare, I want to hear what these two companies are gonna say about their cloud 5G edge computing. I want to know whether they are indeed accelerating. So Upwork and Fiverr are expensive, but can they actually handle their pricey valuations today? It could if they really actually grow very well. Zillow, I think, is very interesting for this week. My expectations is bullish on that. So is the case for Datadog. I love to also listen to what Beyond Meat has to say for this year on the fact that many people have grown in size during the pandemic. Are there people interested, given that Beyond Meat is in the shelves of all the grocery stores? Peloton, Square, Roku, crowd favorites. So I'll see, especially like DraftKings. There's a lot of crowd favorites handling this week, so I do expect that the market will have a mixture. So you've got some earnings front here that's gonna be very good. Maybe Ferrari will do well, even if Tesla's there. So those types of things. We'll hear next. This week is gonna be interesting. Let's just hear what each company has to say on their earnings front. PayPal and Square are definitely two companies that you expect should be doing very well. So for PayPal and Square, I would say that the question is not on their earnings. What would the market actually price in, given that everybody expects PayPal and Square and Roku to already do well? So how well is well? So interesting numbers, right? This week you've got some really good companies reporting. Another thing that you have to watch out for the week is, of course, the movement of cryptocurrencies. Yep. So this week you're seeing cryptocurrencies continue to really escalate and go higher. I actually went long. So I went some names. I went long on Neolink. I actually closed my shorts on some of the crypto positions, seeing that Ethereum, Binance has been doing so well. Perhaps this week your Coinbase is actually gonna do well. And if you'll notice, Coinbase has already gone from $400 all the way to $300, or 30% decline from their initial IPO. It might actually be setting up for a potential reversal on the up move. So we are seeing that after people have been taking profits on their stock related movements here on the first initial IPO hype, try to check on whether we are already solidly defining a support here at $280 and $290 for Coinbase. And seeing that your BTCs, if you take note, BTCs and Ethereums are really getting so stronger. Ethereum's now trading at 3,100. The Ethereum strength is also contributing, of course, to all the NFT. In fact, perhaps the cause is the NFT. Ethereum is doing well in that front because all these NFT is accepting Ethereum. So for the NFT related names that are still trading in the market, you've got Playboy Group continuing higher. You've got companies like Mods continuing higher, the collectibles market. This is just consolidating. And then, of course, we said that Funko should continue going higher if this NFT craze will continue. So this is also something to also understand. Amidst this crypto boom, are the blockchain related miners perhaps going to go up? My view is that maybe a few of them will. So try to check out the few of these names. MSTR looks to be consolidating right now already at 583 with cryptocurrencies running at all-time highs. Perhaps MicroStrategy here is more of a buy, and then the consolidation is over. You've got companies like NBA, Neptune Digital Assets here consolidating. Perhaps this conso is over, time to rise. Crypto Star, CSTR, also here consolidating at 26, 27, 28 cents. Looks like this has consolidated already, finished, and time to go up. NDA, CSTR looks to be okay. Take a look at other blockchain-related names that are actually listed in the market. So some of them have actually dropped very significantly from 75 cents all the way to 20 cents for Codebase Ventures. You might actually have an entry point here as people are actually neglecting some of the crypto and blockchain-related assets that are actually trading in the stock market. Codebase Ventures is one. Humble Pay is actually also another one. Interesting enough, it's just here at 1.52 after a massive drop to 750. This 80% slide on Humble Pay is, to me, looking to be more of an opportunity rather than a selling zone. So more of a buying zone. We flip into the buying zone here. Humble Pay, NDA, CSTR, Coinbase. Okay, so take note that Bitfarms has already gone up. This was a V-shaped reversal after a drop from 660. It rallied back up to 660, nullifying that drop. And so you could argue that Argo blockchain then is perhaps in London Stock Exchange, time to rally up as well. After dropping from about 340 to about 140, perhaps this goes back up. Similarly, your Hot 8 mining, which hasn't recovered yet, should perhaps be in the buying list after a 56% drop. It didn't go down anymore to $5, so chances are this is consolidating at a higher low. So we are seeing a higher low peg on these miners. And in same way, Canaan, of course, this cryptocurrency hardware mining rig, tale of two rigs. I'd say that NVIDIA did very well, but Canaan didn't. However, after this significant drop, any drop is likely muted here about 9, 10, 11, 12. So this might be more of a buying opportunity. Canaan, CleanSpark also here. Take note for those people who aren't aware, CleanSpark also has some crypto-related mining rigs here. So they are actually also contributing. So those things to be looked at for the week, in my view. Does SunPower still own Maxion? SunPower actually was the owner of Maxion, and what they did was the solar panel of MAXN. They basically siphoned it to a property dividend. So Maxion is the solar panel manufacturer. This is like the hardware, and then the installation is just SunPower. So SunPower becomes more relatively asset light and low cost, and then becomes just install. All the solar panel come from Maxion. So this is the solar technology partner of SunPower. It has already gone a reset from as low as about $15. It was given as a free property dividend. So from 13 all the way to 57, I'd say that 18 has muted drops. You want to enter somewhere at 13 and 15, especially as this week is gonna be the SunPower Solar Edge earnings reports. So you could see that solar-related names have fallen down because people are assuming that just like Enphase had a bad drop on earnings because of the chip shortage, and just like First Solar had a bad earnings, people are already assuming that just because of the same sector, that Solar Edge will already fail. So let's assume that it does fail in this week's earnings. Most likely, Solar Edge has a strong support at 240 and 220. And then long term, I'm okay with this company. First Solar actually had a bad number. Let's understand how bad is bad to explain what would happen to SunPower this week. So First Solar earnings was a dismal report. So why did First Solar stock plunge today? Shares of solar manufacturers, so this is the competition of Maxion Solar as well, they fell as much as 10%. This was moving lower 10% as the first quarter revenue was just $800 million. People are actually expecting earnings of about $1.03 on revenues of 785. So that was really a great move. So earnings wise, it was actually doing well. However, it was the guidance that made people antsy. Management increased the top end guidance by 25 million to a range of 285, but the bottom end of the gross margin range was reduced by $15 million into a range of 695 to 775, indicating that while revenues are higher, margins could be lower. So while the company is expecting higher revenues, the earnings might actually be falling because of the falling margins because of raw material cost headwinds. Okay, so if they're all going to report raw material cost headwinds, should this be a buying opportunity then? I'd argue that this drop on First Solar here about 63 would be a good opportunity if it ever fell 20% lower. And so far, because of the news on all these solar companies going down with their earnings 10% down, some people were very scared that SunPower would fall. We are seeing SunPower right now trading at the lowest end in the last 6 months, about 5 months, since December 17, 2020. So let's assume that SunPower actually has a nasty earnings report. Can it fall down to 20? That is a possibility if it's going to be a nasty earnings report. Nonetheless, long term, this should be okay. So while it's going down, you should actually be accumulating. Even if your cost is $30, 25 or 20, these are all accumulation zones. So buy and really don't forget to sell. Don't forget to sell now. Just wait to sell 37 and 46. Don't sell low. Just wait it out. That's your SunPower. Sunrun, of course, will have report numbers today and so far this week. So both of them are all the solar related names. We taught you how to sell call and sell put. That is something that you could do. How low can Sunrun go if you're gonna sell put? I'd say that $44 is a possibility if it has a bad number, 44 to 40. So really, I'm just looking at about the 10% slide on Sunrun and SunPower within this week, as well as Solar Edge if they have a bad number. That means also for Maxion, in case they have a bad number, just a 10% downside. I don't think that it's a long-term sell though. So you should be okay to buy it. Buy it low if you have it already, and don't panic actually. All right. So we're going to just find earnings, and then we're going to report the numbers this week if we find anything interesting. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have a good day.